African politics, I don't understand it. I'm not sure what's going on with the African politics. I'm Malawian, and what's going on in Malawi is very crazy. As of now, the Reserve Bank of Malawi has released a statement whereby it is informing the general public about the constellation of the Reserve Bank to devalue Malawi kwacha again. This is so because the International Monetary Fund would like to give Malawi, I think it should be the International Monetary Fund Bank or the World Bank, would like to give Malawi loan of 177 million US dollars. Now, this money cannot be given to Malawi, cannot be credited to Malawi if Malawi has got the value of the currency, which is now $1 is to 1,700 Malawi kwacha. So, according to the World Bank, this should not be so. They must devalue this kwacha so that $1 should be maybe 4,000 or 3,000 Malawi kwacha. What kind of economics is this? And what kind of government is Malawi government? They can accept this such thing. This is not what we should be accepting in Malawi. We should be able to say no to such colonial measures. Because the reason behind all this is that Malawi must not develop. Malawians must be poor. That's the reason behind all this thing. And there is the people who come to buy things from Malawi from outside, or they're using dollars. They'll buy things at cheap price in Malawi. So like if our gold is being sold to people coming in Malawi, they're going to buy gold at the cheapest price because they've got dollars. And we have got kwachas. So we're selling our gold to people who've got, so somebody can have, somebody can just have 10 million US dollars and be able to buy the whole country of Malawi. Something like that, because we have devalued our currency. And as we devalue our currencies because we sell our commodities in Malawi kwacha, it means we are going to be valueless. Our materials will be valueless because all materials in Malawi locally that's sold in the kwachas. This is sad. Let's change the way we are doing our business in Malawi. Let's change the way we are handling the economies in Africa. I'm feeling so sorry or so sad about Malawi because of the decisions that the government of Malawi is making regarding on how we are treating Malawians by looking at them as they are not important and allowing the international organizations to make decisions for us. As if you cannot make decisions on our own. What's going on with Malawi? We can change this. We can begin to make decisions that are going to positively affect Malawians. If it is to stop doing business with the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and all international organizations, let's stop doing business with them. Because they don't want us to be rich. Let's pay them back their loans. If government of Malawi, you are owing something to the International Monetary Fund, let's get money and pay them back. We can start doing things on our own. Let's do business with Malawians within the country. Let's grow our economies. Why should we do such things like making a decision for devaluing the kwachas? Yet when you are devaluing the kwachas, you are creating poverty for Malawians. Things are already difficult in the Malawi, and you want to add more difficult things in the nation of Malawi by accepting to the command that the International Monetary Fund or the World Bank has given you. Why are you so desperate, you government of Malawi, that you can make yourself become too low like that? Don't stoop down to the lowest as you are degrading yourself because you want to get 177 million US dollars. No, don't be too low. Don't accept any decision that the International Monetary Fund is giving you. Can you be like Traore, Ibrahim Traore from Burkina Faso? He doesn't want any aid from America. He doesn't need any aid from World Bank. He doesn't need any aid from International Monetary Fund. But the government in Burkina Faso is working. They're building, they're developing. Let's cut all World Bank and International Monetary projects, International Monetary Fund projects in Malawi. Let's cut them. Let's stop them. Say enough is enough. You go back to America. We don't want you here in Malawi. Tell them go back to Europe. We don't need you anymore. Because you are creating poverty for Malawians. Malawians are already suffering and you want to make them more of suffering. You're worsening their condition. I think we should begin to think like little people. Let's make decisions about Malawi because we love Malawians. I know the governor of the Reserve Bank of Malawi, when he was coming into his position as the governor of the Reserve Bank of Malawi, he was saying that he is going to be a good governor and he will never allow any devaluation, because by the time he was coming in, there was also the hearings that the kwacha was supposed to be devalued again. Maybe we should devalue kwacha and we should also introduce a new note of 10,000 Malawi kwacha, and he stopped all these things. And he said that he would not allow any devaluation of the kwacha. But now he has allowed the devaluation of the kwacha because of the loan of the International Monetary Fund. The government is desperate because it needs loan, it needs donation, it needs aid. We don't need aid in order to develop in Malawi. Why are you looking for aid? You want to be rich yourself. You thieves, stop misusing the lives of the people. Making decisions that cannot help Malawians is not good. Stop being such poor-minded people who just want to get money from the International Monetary Fund through aid. But you cannot make your own money. You cannot develop the economy. We don't need aid in Malawi anymore. We need to work very hard. The president, the government, everybody else in Malawi, let's work hard. We don't need aid anymore. I tell you, we've been receiving aid since independence, but aid hasn't developed Malawi anymore. We're not developed. We're still poor. And this is so sad. And we are poor because we depend on other people to help us. They build our economy. They build our roads. They tell us what to do. We can't develop by that. We need to make decisions by ourselves and say we can develop Malawi according to our aspirations. We can make decisions about Malawi and change the living standard of Malawians because we are independent enough to make decisions that will help to build our nation. Malawi is poor. You can agree with me. And this poverty that we have in Malawi, it is a poverty that we have accepted. It's engineered. There are people who want Malawi to be poor forever. And these people, they do everything to make sure that the Malawians are getting poorer. But themselves, they're getting better. Somebody can accept a decision that is going to affect a lot of people in Malawi. Because don't make us look like we are not important. Malawians are special people. I know that Malawians are watching whatever is happening. They have knowledge and understanding for actually what's going on in Malawi. And we're seeing everything that you're doing, your politicians. Because all the decisions that you're making are not good decisions at all. They're not decisions that are favorable to Malawians. They're decisions that are made out of selfish interests. You don't think well about Malawians. You're not promoting the needs of Malawians, but you are advancing your own personal needs. You cannot allow Malawians to continue suffering because you want to get aid. That's not what we want. If I'm talking like this, it means I'm feeling so sad about what's going on about Malawi. Because if we give you 20 years to rule this nation with the decisions that you are making, this nation of Malawi will become useless. And already the nation of Malawi is useless because it is not able to do things without donation, without aid. It is a nation that cannot make decisions on its own. It's like we're not independent at all. There's somebody who is controlling and touching the buttons about the Malawi. So whatever we are doing is because of somebody behind the scene who is doing everything that we are doing here. So we are being controlled. Let's stop depending on other people for us to develop. But we are 20 million Malawians, even 20 plus million Malawians. We can make decisions. Do you think like Malawians are not intelligent to make decisions that are going to be good decisions about this nation? Why are you looking for help from other people who have no interest about Malawi? They're hearing Malawi like it's a poor nation, has got poor leadership. And we go there and they ask for the help. You know what they can do to make us look so mad, to make us look as foolish people? Because they already know we're desperate for hope. We've got Malawians who are intelligent. We can ask those Malawians to tell us what we can do in order to help the lives of the Malawians so that we can develop. But what we need most in Malawi is to develop, to be able to do things on our own, to develop this nation so that it should be a better nation. That's what we need. And we should always be doing that all times. We can do better. We can make the nation of Malawi become prosperous. It is possible. Ibrahim Traore is doing great thing for Burkina Faso and for Africa as a whole. He is not having selfish interest. He's doing things for the interest of African people. And he's showing African people how leadership must be. But you are not learning from what Ibrahim Traore is doing. You Malawians, do you really think the governor of the Bank of Malawi, the president of Malawi, do you really think, do you really know, or do you really see what things, or how things are happening in Africa with other leaders, like a leader of Burkina Faso? Can you see what is he doing? Can you learn from him? He has stopped the aid from the international organizations, from the World Bank, from the International Monetary Fund. He doesn't need aid from them. But you're busy begging like that. How foolish are you? Do you really think like Malawi will develop by whatever you're doing? We need to stand up and tell Malawians that if it is to suffer because we don't receive aid, let's suffer. But we are going to develop our nation by ourselves without any aid. We can do that. Bingu Mutharika tried to do that, and he did that. He had a budget which was popularly known as the zero budget. And he was running the country without the aid from any organization, from any person, from any whatsoever entity. And things were getting well. We can do likewise today and say, enough is enough with the aid. We're going to run the country on our own without any aid. It is possible we can do that. Why should we need aid? When the aid is not changing anything about our country, when people are still suffering despite having aid, so why do we need it today? We don't need any aid in Malawi for us to do the things that we're supposed to do. For us to develop, we don't need any aid at all. We need us to work hard. Let's work hard. Let's work hard together to develop our nation. It is possible to develop it. So whatever is happening in Malawi is so sad because we are not doing anything good to help our nation develop. We are looking for aid, but the conditions of the aid are too bad because they want us to devour the culture. And you're accepting that. Why can't you say, go away with our aid? We don't want to devour our culture anymore. Why should we keep on devouring culture in order for us to receive aid? What kind of condition is that? Because we are not helping at all. You're just making this country to be a good country for the foreigners who are having dollars and euros and pounds. But you're making it to be a bad country for Malawians. And so why do we have the country? Do we have the country for foreigners? Do we have the country for International Monetary Fund? Is Malawi for the United Nations? Is Malawi for the World Bank? Malawi is for the Malawians. And we don't need dollars. Like, go everywhere in Malawi. Nobody has got dollars in Malawi. And nobody uses dollars to buy things. We use our local currencies. And so why should we need a $177 million? Why do we need it? Because we have been receiving aid for a long period of time and nothing has happened to change our lives. Aid does not change Malawi. We are not changing because of aid. We're still poor and we're getting poorer every year. Actually, Malawians are so poor now than they were poor before. Because of the aid and because of this kind of leadership that we're having in the nation. Whereby people are just doing things because they don't know what to do. They're desperate. We can do better as a nation. It is the time now we make decisions that are going to be good decisions for the Malawians. We cannot keep on doing some things which have never helped us. And we're busy doing them like we're going to change anytime soon. We're going just to be bad And things are going to be more worse if we don't make good decisions so that we can do our own things, which are good for Malawians to develop our nation and make it be a better nation. I hope you're watching these videos and you're hearing what I'm talking about. I think I'm helping somebody here. We need to know that if this nation is not going to be made better nation, if we keep on doing the same mistakes that we have been doing, then there's nothing that is going to happen to this nation which is going to be good. We're going to be poorer and poorer forever. Because we don't want to change it. We love to do things which are mistakes all the time. And we don't care about lives of Malawians because we are proud leaders. Any leader in Malawi must understand that you're there to help the people. You're not the leader in order to become like you are a god. When people are suffering, you close your ears when people are talking something. You close your eyes when people are looking at you. You close your nose not to smell anything. You don't speak when people want to hear from you. Leaders that are so selfish, instead making decisions which are not even important. Because the lives of the people are being affected negatively by the decisions that you're making. And you're not even wanting to be responsible for the decisions that you've been making about the nation. It is time now we do things for the betterment of the lives of the Malawians, not for our own betterment. And we should critically look at any aid that has been given to us and looking at the conditions carefully to see if the conditions are favorable for Malawians. Any unfavorable condition attached to any aid that we receive, we must say enough is enough. Go back to where you come from. We don't need your aid anymore. We can say like that. And that can help to develop our nation. It's time now we make decisions that are going to be good decisions for Malawians. Government of Malawi, I've seen the statement from the Reserve Bank. It's a sad statement. It's a sad letter. We cannot be writing those letters to Malawians when we have got this current situation in Malawi whereby lives of the people are suffering economically because the economic environment in Malawi is not good at all. Prices of commodities are increasing every day. Inflation is very high in Malawi. And you want to devalue kwacha, just simply saying that you want to make the price of commodities to increase again and creating more unfavorable economic conditions in Malawi. This is worse and bad. Be careful of how we make the decisions about Malawi. Because we are suffering already and do not make us to suffer more. Instead of looking for solutions, we are looking for problems in this nation. And we are not happy with the decisions that are happening. Malawi can be better. We can make this nation better. We can change the direction which the nation has taken. If we understand how lives of the people are all about. It's not about somebody making decisions on our behalf, but it's for us making decisions because we want better life. You cannot go to Europe and change the currency of Europe anyhow. You cannot devalue dollar anyhow. But the United States of America is printing more money every day. But you cannot devalue their currency. You cannot devalue euro. You cannot devalue pound. It is not possible. But these international organizations, Monetary Fund, the World Bank, they're so happy, lashing to make a decision about the devaluation of Malawi kwacha. That's what they like to do. And this is happening only to the third world countries. They don't go to the rich countries to do that thing. Because they're policing us. They're watchdogs to us. They're making decisions that are against us all the time. They don't want Africa to be financially independent. They're still in control of our lives and affairs in the African continent. But enough is enough. Burkina Faso is doing it, saying enough is enough with the World Bank. Enough is enough with the colonizers. And Burkina Faso is doing things on its own. We can do things on our own. Don't worry about what they will say if you make decisions that are good for the people of Malawi. We can do better. We can make our nation better. It is not true that the devaluation will help to change the economic conditions of Malawians from being bad to being good. Devaluation is going to bring more problems to Malawian people. And more Malawians will suffer because of it. We should not be happy with devaluation. Long time ago, late Bingu Mutharika rejected devaluation. He said he would not devalue the kwacha then. He was under pressure to devalue it. He said enough is enough. I cannot devalue the kwacha. And why today should we accept devaluation of kwacha? Every time we want to hear it from the International Monetary Fund. They want us to devalue kwacha. Every time they want to extend the facility, loan facility to Malawi, it's all about you develop for us to give you this credit facility. We cannot accept all these conditions. And it's high time now we stopped doing the comprehensive thing with the International Monetary Fund conditions that come because they want us to get aid from them. And therefore, we should devalue the kwachas. It is not helping Malawians. It is not helping African people. We can do things on our own without aid from the International Monetary Fund. Africa, we can come together and begin to work together and trade with one another in Africa. And we can do things like one people. Because we are not doing things like one people, they take advantage of us and do everything they want to do with us. And nobody will say what? Because we are under their control. But we can say enough is enough. We do things on our own. It is possible to run government without aid. Because we have got all production factors in Africa. We have got all what we need for us to develop. We have got land. We have got human capital. And we have got everything we need for us to develop. So why are we not developing? We have got land. Because these are God-given things. And we just use them properly so that we can develop. But there are people today who are abusing the resources so that they should benefit because of political reasons. And the politics we're doing in Africa is not helping. Because the politics that is killing lives of the people because you are creating more poor people. Only yourself are enjoying and having better life at the expense of poor people, poor politicians in Africa. Wake up. We can make Africa better now. I think I've spoken a lot. And understand that somebody has heard whatever I've spoken. I know you are going to make good decisions now. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to come back to this channel called Hanix TV. We're going to have a lot of talk about Malawi and about Africa. Because I feel we have got the good responsibility now to do things that we are supposed to do for Africa to develop. We are one, let's support one another. It is the time for Africa to develop. Thank you for watching. Have a good time. Bye-bye.